Enough is enough, and it's time for a change!
It is Sunday, and you're listening to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast.
Give me a hell yeah! Get some
Ooh, yeah!
With Kinny Killa.
Hey yo! We're in the big DUDLEYS, baby! And we are live! Woo!
I'm the gal them sugar should.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be! Cause that's the bottom line! Cause Stone Cold said so!
Oh, son of a bitch, if you just heard the glass shatter, that's right, you know it's Sunday. It's time for the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast, episode 151, right here on VOC Nation. And I am the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the one man with no Instagram, Kinny Killa. Hi, people. Hi, how are you doing? It's been a hot minute. Well, obviously, it's been a week. But it's Sunday, so it's time for another show. We bang them out like crazy, so I'd like to introduce you to my guest, none other than Butcher69 himself, Mr. David Gillam.
Boom! It's good to be back.
It's
good to be back on the show, which gave me the opportunity to appear on my show. God bless you, my brother.
Oh man, how's it going, man? It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a long time since I failed on your quiz.
yeah.
I've had sleepless nights.
Oh man, you know what? Well, I won't give you any more nightmares, so don't worry. You won't do that again. Don't worry. You won't. I'll let you off.
I made history.
I know. The world record holder for getting zero.
World record holder. Yes.
Oh man. Well, it is what it is. It's one of those things, you know. It's one of those things. It just all depends on the categories. And Segheads, just in case you don't remember, it is all about, you know, when you first come on the show, you have to do the 10 count. And yeah, just, you know,
I got counted out.
Got counted out, man.
Counted out.
There's no, you know, there's no continue button. It's done.
Horrible category. That was the last time I ever watched ECW as well. That was it. I gave someone else that category one time as well, and then they got one maybe. I can't. Yeah. But. So Vince McMahon is quite innocent in the fact that Vince McMahon isn't the only person that killed ECW.
Oh God, we're gonna get to. Don't worry, we're gonna get to Vince McMahon a little bit later. But how's your weekend been?
Good, mate. Good. Not bad. Can't complain.
That's great. What's the weather like where you at?
It's kind of bright, to be honest with you. It's there's no rain.
Which we're always
accustomed
to.
It's cold.
Yeah. I'll give you that. It's definitely cold. But enough about the weather. Let's talk wrestling. This is the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast right here on VOC Nation and Swerve Talk Network. Also, make sure you check out our website, the Sunday Segue podcast.wix.com/Sunday Segue. Also, check us out on Twitter. It's at Sunday Segue. Segue spelled SEGUE. I'm at Kinny Killa. Also, make sure you like us on Facebook, like our page, please interact with the questions that go out. We'll talk about that later. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Rate us on iTunes. We're on Stitcher. We're on Podomatic, and don't forget to download that Double Twist player. Right. Shout outs. I want to give a shout out to our business partners in crime. That's right. It's maxwrestling.wix.com/Max Wrestling. Make sure you check out their new issue, which is out now, so check that out, please. Also, I want to give a shout out to onewrestling.com, Bill Apter, Big Slam Nation. You know who you are, every single one of you. And make sure, guys, you check out Segue TV episode 3, which will be happening straight after this. Also, shout out to Offshoot Radio. Want to give a shout out to You What as well. Dave, any shout outs?
Shout out to my boys at Max Wrestling.
There you go. Name the names, man. Name the names.
At Dazzy Dangerously. At The Phoenix. At McCabe. Don't ever forget Evan McCabe, man. That guy will come and fucking haunt me.
Well, let's say a good happy birthday to Evan McCabe.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Mr. McCabe. He's not going to be awake because that guy won't rise until about 7 o'clock.
Oh, God. Well,
that guy don't rise.
Well, let's shout out some of the seg heads. I want to give a shout out to all you guys that started following us. So, shout out to Lilith Rawlins, Big Gold Belt Pod. So, that's Big Gold Belt Podcast. Gimmick News. Big Blue Cage Podcast. That's Blue Cage Podcast. There's Merrick at X_Gillian. The Heel Hatter. Stevie McPherson. Working a Rest Hold Podcast. Shoots and Ladders Podcast. The Yes Talk. Mike, that's at Mike Legacy 54. Ant, that's at WWE Fan FOH. The Wrestling Freak. Dave Baker. Light Skin OG. Panic Video. Ben Matthews. The Cheeky Jobbers. And Acer. Want to give a shout out to Acer. That's at Acer1337. I missed you out last week, but I didn't miss you out this week. So Dave, let's talk the Raw fallout. Okay, so we had Brock, we had Reigns, we had Ambrose, all interacting on Raw, as they do in the last couple of weeks. Tit for tat a bit going on week after week. You know, once it's Ambrose, then it's Reigns, and then it's Brock, all getting the upper hand. But this week, we had a contract signing, as they like to say, and I'm using my inverted commas because you can't see, where we know some shit's gonna hit the fan. So Brock Lesnar decided to throw a goddamn table on Roman Reigns, Dave.
What can you say about throwing a table at Roman Reigns? I think I'd prefer to throw a lot more things at Roman Reigns currently, to be honest with you, rather than a table. I
mean, he's taken it upon himself to pick up this table, pick up Dean Ambrose, F5 him out of his skin, and just get out of the ring straight away.
I think the thing that made me laugh most was you just knew. As you can predict, every contract signing just goes wrong, and it just always does. But it was just the way Dean just pushed his arms out, strutted around the table, and just chest pumped Brock Lesnar, and Brock just didn't move an inch.
Oh, I know.
but it's actually, when you looked at Dean's face just went, it was just like oh my God.
What have I done? What have I done?
Catch me, Roman. Catch me.
That's why when Reigns took the table to the dome, he made sure he stayed outside. You want to stay outside.
Yeah.
Don't get back in that ring.
Yeah,
Don't
that
get
was
back
it.
in that ring. They tease, some dissension. I mean, Stephanie McMahon, she likes to throw in some things in there for Roman Reigns and for Dean Ambrose. Do you think that's definitely happening down the line?
I think it's a thing that's been one of my major topics, to be honest with you, over the last few weeks. To be honest with you, I kind of see it now more relevant than ever. It's clear to see that Roman isn't succeeding as a face. Some people high up don't want him to succeed as a face. Me personally, I felt he was more powerful as the guy that said literally nothing. He didn't, he does his best work when his mouth's shut and he hasn't got that smile, in my opinion.
Oh my God.
Dean, for me, is quite possibly the most over guy in the WWE at the minute, and for a guy that just his work rate is second to none. I mean, I used to say Seth Rollins was the only guy that could actually put on a show that came out of the Shield, but Dean Ambrose is just, he's perfection.
Yeah.
He is. He tells a story every time he goes out on a Monday. Brock, for me, unfortunately, has kind of come to a standstill. And I mean, I don't like to say that with Brock Lesnar, but I just kind of think they kind of sold Brock's story too much. For me, he's been reduced to a guy that's got 2 moves. And I think this whole Suplex City thing has kind of restricted Brock from being the guy that won multiple championships, and it's reduced him to, just that one move, which is just a power move. And it kind of pains me to watch it, but I think they've kind of taken the wow factor away from Brock now. Nobody is surprised anymore when he makes his entrance. You kind of already know what's going to happen with Brock Lesnar now. I think Dean should be the man that takes on Triple H, arguably, but we'll see.
Well, do you reckon that they're angling towards a Brock and Ambrose then at Mania? Because it looks
I would like that. I would like that. I mean, part of me was thinking possibly the only way Brock was gonna get a match. Well, not he was always gonna get a match at Mania, granted, but I think the only one that made sense was Bray Wyatt. But I think for the past 12 months, we have seen Triple H and Roman Reigns go at each other's throats. So if that doesn't end at Mania, then it's kind of been waste of a 12-month. You know, because, I mean, Triple H hasn't built anything with Dean Ambrose to go into Mania. And, you know, we all know as wrestling fans, a rivalry is built over nearly a 12-month period building up to every Mania. So I think if it isn't Roman versus Triple H, then you've got questions to ask to the people writing this shit, to be honest with you.
Well, this is why we like WrestleMania season. This is why we like it. You just never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to come in. Right about now, NXT Dallas looks a lot better than WrestleMania 32. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I would say that too.
All right, let's go into talking about Owens. Now, Kevin Owens, you know, a lot of of the IWC maybe thought that Kevin Owens might get the Undertaker match, or he might get some kind of a high-profile match. But Kevin Owens lost again to Dolph Ziggler this week on Raw. So where are they going with Kevin Owens, or where would you like to see them go with him after these, a couple of losses to Dolph Ziggler?
I always say Kevin Owens is a much more effective person when he's frustrated.
Okay.
The Kevin Owens that I've watched over the years in ROH is a lot stronger when he's pissed off. And I think this loss thing only builds into Owens' frustration and basically picking up one particular guy. I've got my opinion on who the guy will be, and I personally think it will be AJ Styles.
Okay.
Because there's no other man stronger than the guy that's come in and everyone's talking about him. And the one thing Kevin Owens doesn't like is being the guy that's been forgot. Personally, I love Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is the man. You know what I mean? Everything he does is just, he tells a story without speaking words. You know what I mean? It's just like, there is no guy that just can hit you harder than Kevin Owens other than Brock Lesnar. And that, to be honest here, would have been the match I would have liked to have seen, Owens and Lesnar. I personally would have liked to have seen Owens and Bray Wyatt. There's a handful of matches which I think could showcase Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens can either be the worker or can be the guy, you know what I mean, making the other guy look good. He is that good. I think I'm just of the opinion I'm kind of give Kevin Owens his well-deserved opportunity and his well-deserved chance.
I mean, it's been a year now since he's been on the roster, and he's done very, very well for himself. I mean, it may surprise some people if he's not in a high-profile match at WrestleMania, but it doesn't surprise me. It is his first year, and we don't want to get overexposed to him. Because, I mean, we didn't get overexposed to him in NXT. He was there for a hot minute, and then he's up on the main roster. So we've got some good things to come, and I think they're pretty much waiting for Sami Zayn to come up, and then we'll see the best of the best.
Well, I think that's what it is. For me, I think three pay-per-views in the year make a wrestler and showcase that wrestler from where he is on that pay-per-view. That's Mania. Money in the Bank has became a big thing now, obviously, with the briefcase. The guy that gets the briefcase is guaranteed to get a push unless you're Damien Sandow or Sheamus, and SummerSlam, But I think Money in the Bank's going to be very, very, very interesting this year. I mean, impending possibly re-emergence of Seth Rollins. Will want that briefcase and want his opportunity back. Kevin Owens will want that opportunity. Sami Zayn, like you said,
possible Finn Balor. I think Money in the Bank could possibly be the event this year.
Yeah,
showcasing talent.
I think you're right. I think you're definitely right, and I'm looking forward to that 100%. Let's move on to AJ Styles, Chris Jericho, and The Miz. Now, The Miz, I have to give Miz props. He is the ball bag on this show, but I have to give him props because over the last couple of weeks, this guy has talk about real heat, man. This guy has he's been so good on the mic. He's been drawing down that real good heat, you know, not X-Pac heat, that real good heat that you can feed off of. And I think it's allowed AJ Styles and Chris Jericho to feed off it real well. I mean, talk about Chris Jericho. The guy turns Miz TV into highlight reel in 0.05 seconds. What was your thoughts on that segment?
To be honest with you, I was quite annoyed because I think if you listen to the Max Wrestling the last few weeks, I've kind of beat on Chris Jericho quite a bit, his back quite a bit. The Miz, I felt quite sorry for because I mean I've enjoyed The Miz quite a bit the last few weeks. Like you said, you know, the guy is, you could say he's making people. You know, I mean he's giving them the showcase time. And he's certainly done a lot for AJ Styles in terms of, you know, WWE. Not that AJ Styles needs it, in my opinion. But this, I mean, I would like to see Miz given another opportunity in you know, in some way. How, I don't know, but I think it's clear that we're seeing the re-emergence again of the Miz in some way. Someone clearly wants to see Miz getting pushed. He just needs to get rid of them girly clothes and all that stuff that he's doing, man. I want to see the old Miz back.
The Alex Riley Miz.
That Alex Riley Miz. That Alex Riley Miz.
Oh man, all right. AJ and Jericho. I mean, obviously we had this little beef between Jericho and the Miz, which ended up with AJ coming out. The Miz cheap shot at Jericho. He ended up getting tossed outside. Jericho and AJ decided to have a face to face, and they come to blows. But I mean, how do we, you know, where do we go from here? Because they're starting to really do some really good things on SmackDown with these guys now.
I think the thing with AJ coming up and the thing Chris Jericho has always done. I mean, my disappointment with Chris Jericho is just the fact that it's kind of, other than making superstars, which he openly says on his podcast he enjoys doing, is making that next man look bigger and stronger. I kind of think sometimes that, you know, this person isn't always needed. You know, a match in itself can make that person. It doesn't need someone like Chris Jericho. I mean, you know AJ Styles like I know AJ Styles. And the WWE universe isn't made up of just people that just watch WWE. But so for my opinion is, there's someone that sits in that office chair that assumes that WWE fans only watch WWE television. So let's go out. Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, go get me Chris Jericho. I need Chris Jericho to make AJ Styles look good. You know, it's not needed, but I mean, it's clear now that, you know, if people haven't seen it, it's one each on the counter, and there's going to be a match at Fastlane.
I'm looking forward to that because I think this will be the one.
There's going to be a match at Fastlane, and hopefully, I mean, that's going to showcase it in itself. I mean, we watched Jericho at the Rumble, and there's no doubting that guy can still go. I mean, over 30 minutes he went in the Rumble and outshone anyone, really, for, you know, in time. You know, and AJ Styles could go 60 minutes. You know, it's been a while, and I've always said I want another 60-man Iron Man match, and I believe Jericho could go 60 minutes. There are guys in the WWE that could go 60 minutes, but I think this will be. It's got to be a 30-minute match.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
It should be, but the problem with this is that, you know, WWE ain't New Japan, so they're not gonna.
They don't want it, do they? I mean, so for them, they've already made their minds up that they want the match of the night has to be Roman, Brock, and Ambrose.
Yeah.
if AJ and Jericho go out, which I guarantee it will be match of the night, you know, it's gonna leave with a lot of people with red faces in the back if that showcases everything else. But me personally, I think this thing with Jericho is only to get AJ. It doesn't need it, but over, a lot more over, and showcase him a lot more on WWE telly.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I watched that first match and you could see him talking. It was like AJ wasn't used to the WWE way, almost restricting him a little bit, slowing him down, because AJ goes out all guns blazing.
Yeah.
He's full on intensity, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I think it was just a case of Jericho working him, slowing him down a bit. You do this, you do this, you do this. You can't go doing that because you're just gonna. These guys can't work at your pace, AJ. Do you know what I mean?
Let me just throw in there the Dudleys turn heel. Right move right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it should have been done from day one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I want to see Bully Ray. That's what I want to see. I want to see him go, because he can do a lot more than he's doing now, you know. And obviously they want to get the nostalgia.
The guy carried TNA. You know, that's my opinion. Once AJ went, the reins there were passed to Bully. You know, no one else was carrying it. A lot of people will still say Kurt Angle. I disagree. You know, you can't carry a company when you're sat on an injury table.
Yeah, true.
You know.
We also had Team Bad. Obviously they split, but we had Becky Lynch take on Tamina. Sasha Banks on commentary, looking good. She's on commentary, and then she decided to get involved in a match where Naomi decided to come around and literally lick this girl's head off. I was like, wow, did she really punch her in her face? Like, but that looked great. Tamina actually wins on Raw. When was the last time that happened?
Tamina, what happened there? Did they hire some new writers or bookers?
Like what Shivani would say, that'll put some butts in the seat.
Is Tamina getting married to some guy in the back room sometime this year?
But all I know,
you know what I mean. And I've got to say this because it's going to pain me, and I'm never going to hear it again. And I know you guys have talked about, you know, patterning it. Unity. I'm gonna miss that, man.
Oh man, I know, but Sasha's got to do her own thing right now, and I cannot wait for WrestleMania season to come around. But at Fastlane, we got Tamina and Naomi versus Becky Lynch and Sasha. All right, so let's go.
That girl's got the tools.
Oh, definitely, 100%. Let's go into Daniel Bryan retiring. I mean, it's sad. They gave him they gave him the end of Raw, the main event. And yeah, man, just it was sad to see. It reminded me of Edge when Edge retired, and I didn't really want to see that. It was too young, but it's the right thing for him to do to preserve his future and stuff. What's your thoughts?
I think it's something we've all been preparing for. As much as you want to, shy away from it, and you don't want it to happen. I mean, I say it quite often, and I firmly believe that, the business has come a long, long, long way in 20 years. And these guys, it's no disrespect to anyone that worked 20 years ago, but the guys of the last 10 years work a hell of a lot harder on a yearly basis. Let's not take into consideration that there's policies now, such as the wellness policy, where you cannot take prescription drugs to get you through a night of pain and suffering. And for Daniel Bryan, I think that watching him on Raw, I think that was the first time he was actually honest. I mean, we've heard him say a lot of things on social media about I'm fit, I can wrestle, but I think he was struggling with the fact of being honest with himself. He was holding on a bit too tight to reality. And you can't blame the guy. I mean, 16 years, of dreaming of being on the big stage, and then all of a sudden it comes. He gets his major opportunity, and it's taken away from him with injury. Then he gets another opportunity with the Intercontinental title taken away from him through injury. And it's like you said with Edge, the touching moments, because I mean, Belmont said it himself. It's these fucking marks and smarks, people with the WWE that pretend to know and give a shit what they're talking about, and you can clearly see, and then you see these people coming on, good riddance, he should have done it a long time ago. That's just it's sick, because I mean the butcher is an open book, but the butcher cried. I cried because I don't want to see that type of stuff, man.
Mm-hmm. No,
a guy sitting there and he's trying to make it look as if he's having fun, but deep down
he's hurting.
He's hurting.
Did you watch NXT?
Oh mate, do I watch NXT?
Have you watched NXT this week?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. So we're gonna go to a break right now, and then we're gonna be back with NXT Fallout, people. So we're gonna hear from our sponsors at VOC Nation. So please, don't you miss it.
Live from the In the Room studios located in the Net Carrier Enclave, this is the VOC Nation Radio Network.
Hey everyone, it is your favorite knockout, Mickie James, and you're listening to the VOC Nation.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. Thanks for coming on down. It's Save Wrestling, the podcast, and the business-making town. I am your award-winning hostess with the mostest, Shelly Funtime Martinez, and she is my co-host, Dazzling Danielle.
Woo! Hello out there.
And together we are the Martinez Girls. You finally did it. And you can join us here Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern on the VOC Nation as we save wrestling together, Danielle.
Fighting crime.
Woo!
And we're back, people. The Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast 151. It's your boy Kinny Killa here with my guest, the Butcher 69, Dave Gillam. And we're about to go into NXT. So let's go into it. We start off NXT with Baron Corbin versus Johnny Gargano. Johnny Wrestling. Corbin comes out. I love the entrance. I still think he's missing just that little bit. He plays a heel okay and he's getting better at it, but I just feel he's just missing a voice, He's missing, like, I just want him to go up in the camera and just be like, what are you looking at? And just slap the camera away. You know what I mean? I just want to feel like he's a proper heel, like, you know what I mean? But this match, obviously, Corbin's going in with Johnny Gargano, which is a great thing, because Gargano is Johnny Wrestling. He knows how to wrestle. And I think that, Gargano did well to get Corbin over. Corbin finished with the end of days. He also gave him a deep six, which was nice. What was your thoughts on the match?
I to be honest with you, I love Corbin. I think the only thing that Corbin is missing is that NXT title.
Oh wow, you would give it to him
already?
I mean,
that's my opinion. I mean, for me, that guy looks beast. I mean, he looks evil as sin. He actually looks like, I watched that Breaking Grounds, and there's a bit in it where the guy pours a drink on him, and you actually think he's going to take that guy's head off. I think the guy's real. I think you know what I mean? We talk about gimmicks. I think the guy is 80% himself, 20% gimmick. I actually believe that guy is, everything you see is what you get. I think he's ruthless. And the way he does things, I do believe he's a loner. I think he's a believable character. I think sometimes I think people can do their work without saying anything. I mean, what was just said about Roman Reigns, Gargano. Oh, that guy is awesome. That guy is awesome. I mean, I personally want him to keep him and Tommaso Ciampa together, because I mean, I look at that tag team division now, and on NXT, and I mean, I want to see America Alpha against Ciampa and Gargano.
Well, the state of play at the moment with Gargano and Ciampa is that they're not currently signed to a WWE deal. But they will be eventually, but they aren't at the moment, just because it works well for everyone at the moment. They're able to take their indie dates and stuff. So, so far so good. But until it gets to a point where I think everyone's back in, I think they'll be signed, no doubt. All right, next match, we had the Hype Brothers versus Hollis and SKYLER. Jobber match. Hype Bros. Mojo Rawley. Everyone knows what I think about Mojo. This guy is shit. I just cannot stand this guy. That's my opinion, though. You know, and it seems like Corey Graves likes everyone else but Mojo Rawlins, which is great. They finished the match out with a hype rider. What's your thoughts on Mojo Rawley?
When you were saying that, yeah, everyone knows my thoughts. I was saying, please don't say you like him. Please don't say you like him, because I'm about to put a whole heap of shit on that guy. Mojo Rawley is without a doubt one of the most irritating, shittiest workers I have seen since Greg Carly.
He ain't hype. He ain't hype.
Oh, he ain't anything. He ain't anything. And if I'm honest, I mean, I used to, you know, think Zack Ryder was, you know what I mean, worthy of some kind of push, but he's had his United States title, and me personally, I actually think a clear out is necessary now in the WWE, at all level. I mean, I don't see how you can appear on NXT week in, week out, and then turn up on Saturday Night Main Event or possibly SmackDown. I mean, I don't get that.
Yeah. You might as well just be down NXT all the way. You might as well.
What is the point of giving them television time?
The thing is, they use those guys to shore up the live events, don't they? So it's just they're the curtain jerkers. All right, we got Alexa Bliss versus Cameron. Where the hell has Cameron come from? This match was terrible. This match was absolutely terrible. Why is she still employed? Lord only knows. I don't know. But Alexa Bliss won with the Sparkle Splash. Blake and Murphy, god damn, I don't know what they're doing. But yeah, Cameron, yeah, it won't surprise me if she's featured endeavored soon. Would not surprise me.
I think there's a clear out due. I think there is one coming with NXT. I mean, I commented on it the other week. I personally don't think Blake and Murphy are safe. Obviously, with Murphy's last incident with the DUI incident, I don't think he's safe from that. I don't really think Alexa Bliss is safe, not with the current. The girl's got ability, there's no doubt. But I mean, I looked at some of the girls coming through now, the two girls from Australia, Peyton,
Royce, and Billy.
Yeah, you know, there's a hell of a lot of talent coming through, and I personally think if you haven't had your chance to be showcased in NXT, if you've been there over 12 to 18 months, and you haven't been showcased, then you've got very, very little, you know what I mean, opportunity. And what you've got to worry about even more is if they're still signing, you know, women to develop, then you've clearly got a problem. Cameron passed her sell-by date when she got dropped.
Yeah, standard
from the main card. You know.
Let's go into the main event real quick. With Bayley versus Carmella. Now, for me, this saved the show. Now, you know, they told a really good story about best friends, you know, having to go in babyface versus babyface, which is, you know, it's different because it's usually, you know, Bayley up against someone where she's the underdog, but this time she wasn't. She's defended the title, and I thought they did very, very well. I thought Carmella did very well. This girl did 2 suicide dives, Dave, out of the ring. She did 2. Daniel Bryan suicide dives. So definitely have to commend her for that. And they protected her in some way because it was all Carmella, and she didn't take a belly to Bayley, but Bayley took the submission for a little bit before they rolled out into pin and exchanges, and then Bayley won with a roll up. So yeah, that was Bayley won. They shake hands, hug, and whatnot, and then here comes Nia Jax and Eva Marie. And at this point, what did you think?
I'm frustrated with it, to be honest with you. I have been frustrated with the NXT women for a while, to be honest with you. Not all of them, granted, but I'm struggling that, you know, we've seen, which was arguably WWE's match of the year between Bayley and Sasha Banks. On anything, I mean, and now I'm looking at it, I'm just thinking, I like Carmella. I'm big on Carmella because I can just see, you know, having watched her on Breaking Grounds and stuff like that, the girl wants it. The girl wants it, as you know what I mean. And I just, as does Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
And I look at her and I just think the hardest part is getting over. And I think Enzo and Cass have already done that. And I think now she can kind of slowly step away from Enzo and Cass and be her own, you know what I mean? Her own person as such. And she's doing that well. The introduction of a pointless Nia Jax and even more pointless Eva Marie.
The full Eva Marie. God, oh my God!
I just, you know, I wanna feel sorry for Eva Marie. I really, really do, because I see a girl that wanted to work so hard for it, and I wanted to better herself from coming on, you know, Total Divas, and she went to NXT, tried to learn, you know what I mean, some wrestling and stuff like that. And what I think's happened is this. All how can you put it? The way it's all gone on has basically built her character about this, you know what I mean, woman that everyone despises. But I think she's bought into it too much, and she's actually forgotten what she was there to do. Because I mean, watching her matches and that, she clearly hasn't learnt a lot, because her matches are no longer than 5 minutes. And when was the last time she had a match?
True.
And now she's using Nia and jumping on the back of Nia Jax to carry her forward. Which we all know how it's going to go. She's eventually going to turn on Nia Jax.
But she's not going to be able to do much about it. I mean, the girl can't even attack properly, which annoyed me. But even with that, out comes Asuka. She comes out, and I mean, this is a pure brilliance. This woman has so much charisma, and she can't even speak, you know, the Queen's English properly. Like, she comes out, she just walks. She doesn't even have to run. She just walks out. Enters the ring.
Presence. With a presence.
She just walk. The rest of them get out the ring. She turns to Bayley, looks at the title, smiles, and just dusts it off like, I'm coming for it.
I love it, man.
I'm coming.
Licks her finger.
Oh, God, man. Can't wait.
She's awesome. She's awesome.
Cannot wait. Here we go.
I actually said I hope WWE sign Awesome Kong Karma back, because I would love to see Karma go toe-to-toe.
Yeah, but that's never going to happen. I mean,
with Asuka.
Like I keep saying, and alpha female, you know, like we say every week, and you know, you keep tweeting and saying thanks, but we're gonna keep on mentioning you until the WWE have signed you. Alpha female in there.
I've not seen a lot of alpha female. I mean, I've seen her in TNA, and they absolutely ruined the shit out of her.
Yep, you need to go and watch her at Stardom. Man, you need to just go online and go and see what you can. But we're running out of time, so looks like we're getting Asuka versus Bayley at NXT Dallas, TakeOver Dallas. Right, let's go to Sugar Stunners. All right, we'll go. So Jobber of the week. Jobber of the week goes to Titus O'Neil, because they jobbed the guy out. The guy got suspended. They jobbed the guy out. You know, there's, you know, talks around there saying that he tried to, you know, the reason he pulled back Vince is, you know, as a joke, just to say, look, ladies first, Stephanie's walking by. But, you know, who knows? We never meant nothing by it. But mine got suspended for 90 days. Then now it's 60. So Jobber of the week goes to Titus O'Neil. Move of the week. Move of the week, I believe, has to go to... we'll give it to the Dudleys, taking the Usos through the table and turning heel. Rest of the week, Dave, I'll give you that choice.
Wrestler of the week, the person that showcased themselves and made me want to tune in to watch SmackDown, AJ Styles.
AJ Styles, okay. Wrestler of the week is AJ Styles. Okay, all right, people. Well, before we go, I just want to hear from you, Gillam, about what you expect to see on Raw next week. Tomorrow, sorry.
I think for many months we've said you kind of can predict what happens, but I can't fucking predict anymore.
It's a go home show.
I'm literally I'm at the point now where we all know when Mania comes round, then you're gonna get a couple of decent Raws. You know, I think what we're going to see is, for the next coming few weeks, is mistakes made between Roman and Ambrose. The Authority taking advantage of it and, you know, pissing themselves, laughing as such. But I think it's all building up to Fastlane. I don't think we're going to see Brock on telly until possibly. I think we might see him tomorrow. In some case, I don't think Ambrose or Roman are going to see it coming.
No, I think tomorrow they'll do a big tease of some split. I think they'll go off air with some pushing and shoving or some confusion. And say, I'll see you on Sunday. So they'll probably maybe do something like that. But yeah, I mean, before we go, I just want to do a quick segue time machine. Today is the day where it was St. Valentine's Day Massacre in your house in 1999, where I believe The Big Show, Paul White, made his debut.
Ripping
the cage,
messing the whole thing up.
Messing it up. Austin versus McMahon, messing it up.
Good match as well.
Yeah, we also had a last man standing match for the WWF title, where it ended in no contest. This is the one, Mankind versus The Rock, where The Rock gets the microphone and he's like, I quit. So yeah, that's what happened there. Also, there's a couple birthdays today. Want to give a big shout out, happy birthday to Ken Shamrock, happy birthday to Shinsuke Nakamura, happy birthday to Ayako Hamada, you know who you is. All of those wrestlers, happy birthday to you. Okay, Dave, before we go, let the people know where they can find you on the Twitter.
You can find me at the Twitter at Butcher69, and there's another birthday today. You can get him at evanmccabe.com. That's evanmccabe.com and evanmccabe.com.
There you go. Dave, thanks for coming on. I'm going to get you on sooner. Don't you worry about that.
You're welcome.
All right.
You're welcome, my brother. Thank you for having me.
No problem. You can catch us at Sunday Segue. Segue spelled Segue. You can catch me at Kinny Killa. In case you can't spell killer, it's Killa. And yeah. Next week will be the go home show. It will be prediction show time. So it will be prediction panel, Fame Black and Tom Brady on the show. And if you don't like that, you can choke on that slap nuts. Woo!